All right, guys. Well, welcome to Hump Day Hangouts. Remember, this is being recorded live, and it's going to be broadcast to the whole world. So we have two goals here today. One is I want to empower you guys to learn LinkedIn, and then number two, I want you to be excited to go for it. We have really just the one rule: don't be a jerk. Ask questions. I love it. We're just going to go over the ones that people have submitted. But since you guys are here live, Lorraine and Jer, if you have any questions, I want to make you a priority just because you're here live. Did you guys have anything? Lorraine, you can put it in the chat too if you want. I'm looking at that. I mean, Jer, I know you're a pro. Anything off the top of your head?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. All right, Lorraine says she's just listening. All right, let's go over the questions I had submitted. So I had a question from Sue. Does LinkedIn have any competitors? So I hear that occasionally, and I would actually say yeah, but it kind of depends on what you're talking about. So LinkedIn has a lot going on, right? You can post a job and pay for it. There's lots of competition for posting jobs, lots of avenues there. You can do paid advertising on LinkedIn. There's lots of competition for paid ads, and sometimes LinkedIn's not going to be the best avenue for you, for sure. You've got sharing content. There's Facebook and Twitter, definitely competitor for LinkedIn, but it's kind of a matter of what are you a good fit for LinkedIn, you know? And if you're B2B, it might not be like Facebook and Twitter just might not be nearly as good of a channel. So, but there's still competition, you know? If your goal is finding professionals and networking with them, then I'd say LinkedIn has the corner on the market there. There's not a whole lot. Maybe the one exception would be Zing, but Zing, at least in the US, is really quite small. The user base is small and the engagement is not high. They're like a LinkedIn copycat. You might want to check it out. It's xing.com, zing.com. So they've got some cool stuff going on, but they're kind of like a LinkedIn copycat. So yeah, I'd say yeah, Sue, LinkedIn has competition, but they have the corner on the market for the professional database, the targeting, and the ability to talk to people. But when it comes to like the paid ads, content, posting jobs, that kind of stuff, then there's definitely competition. LinkedIn's not always going to be the best. That's kind of top of my mind. Do you guys here live have any thoughts on that too?
Yeah, in Europe it's the same. Zing is basically the only competition if you compare them. But it has a less great user base.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see a posting that people are looking at Zing because they don't like that LinkedIn is looking more and more like Facebook. But yeah, LinkedIn is the only platform that every professional or most professionals are on, so people stay on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I don't want to try to do a lot on more than one thing, you know? All right, next question. I had two similar questions. So we had Jeffrey asked if he can restore a post that he accidentally deleted. So this is going to be, you know, an article or something in the newsfeed. If you delete a newsfeed post, it's gone. There's no draft mode. There's no trash. It's gone. So what you could do is if you have downloaded all of your account data, part of what's saved in there is your posts. So you could, if you were wanting to recreate it and your concern was recreating it, you could grab that if it was downloaded, or you could just do your best to do it again. You could grab that and redo it, but you're not going to have the same dynamic engagement. You know, it's a wild card. It's like crapshoot. You share the same content, but you might not get the same engagement, the same content, the same comments and stuff. And I actually had a friend of mine did it was like a really, really, really important video that they needed to share. And they didn't check the audio with the video, and it was a mismatch. I sent it out, tagged all these people, and then it was off. And they're like, oh crap. So they had to delete the post and redo it again, and the engagement was a little bit different, which is a bummer. So if you delete it, it's gone. you might have access to it if you've downloaded all of your account data, but if you reshare it, you're not going to have the same engagement. It's just how it's, maybe it'll be better, but it's not going to be the same. You can't just turn it back on. We had, let's see, Natanya asked me, how do you retrieve a deleted LinkedIn message? As kind of the same thing there. I tell people, don't delete a message unless you absolutely have to. I think best practice is archiving for sure. I'm a big fan of keeping the inbox clean, and even my email inbox, I used to just delete, just because I like to have it clean and organized. And then I realized that, as a business owner, sometimes you need those records. No, dang it. It's the same kind of thing with messaging. If you delete it, it's gone forever. Maybe you want it to be gone forever, but if you delete it, it's gone. No bringing it back. If you've downloaded your account data, same kind of thing. You might be able to pull it. I'm trying to remember the last time I looked at a full CSV. I'm pretty sure that they include the message history as well. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that used to be in there. So yeah, you could get it that way if you have downloaded it in the past, but if you hadn't, it's gone. Best practice is going to be to archive, and then it's accessible forever moving forward. All right. Do you guys want me to show you where that's at? I'm going to. I know that you guys here on the Hangout are familiar with doing this, but for people that watch this who are going to be a little bit more new, so if you want to do the full download, go like this, settings and privacy. All right. So you can download this is everything right here, or you can download archive the articles, contacts, invitations, recommendations, connections, messages. Yeah. So messages would be in there. If you've downloaded that, then they'd be right there. So I would do this every once in a while. If you deleted it, it's gone. All right, let's stop share. You guys have any thoughts here, Lorraine and Jared, on that?
Yeah, the messaging are there if you download them. But it's very hard to see the chronological order of the messaging, and at least they're there, so you have a backup.
Yeah, I
like them to be on LinkedIn because you can scroll up and see the chronological order of it.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Yep. And I suppose if something was said that's really important, maybe it involves litigation and you needed proof that someone said something. It might, if that's the world you live in, you might want to do a download every month or two just in case, and Jared's a GDPR expert. All right. Next question was from Nara. Nara asked, how do I find good hashtags to follow? This is actually a good question that I had not been asked maybe ever. So I would say this, for those of you who aren't familiar with hashtag on LinkedIn, I mean, hashtag is a hashtag, but on LinkedIn, it can play out on the platform a little bit differently because you can follow a hashtag and you're prompted to follow a hashtag. So what'll happen is as you're scrolling through the news feed, you'll see, this is trending in this hashtag that you're following, just to give you an opportunity to read it and engage with it, maybe connect with people who are involved with that. And depending on your notifications, you might get a notification that says, this post from this person is trending on this hashtag. And so then you can take the initiative and do whatever you want with that. So hashtags on LinkedIn, they're similar, but they're interacting just a little bit different than like on Facebook and Twitter because of the way the notifications work and what they'll pop in there. And if you actually do the content and you're the one that tags, there's the hashtag, if it trends, you'll actually get a notification that says your post is trending in this hashtag, which is pretty cool because number one, you feel good about yourself. Number two, that's resonating to that audience. Anyways, so how do you find a good one? I'm going to share my screen and just give a couple thoughts here. The first thing you'd want to do is define, for yourself, what's a good hashtag. to some people, a good hashtag is just, it's very relevant to what they do. To some people, what's very important for a hashtag is that there's a lot of people following it. You know, if you want a lot of potential eyeballs on your material, that a high number would be important. Some people, they don't want to compete in something that, you know, if a hashtag has 1 million followers, the likelihood of your content, you know, catching on there might be small. So you might actually want to shoot for something that's a little smaller. So figure out what you need, but typically you're going to be looking at relevance and count and whatever is important to you. So if I do this guy here, I'm going to go home. This is a little bit easier on a desktop than your phone. So right here, this is where your followed hashtags are. I can go to discover more. And these, I'm just going to move this guy over. These are kind of like the recommendations. So hashtag social media, 19.5 million followers. That's a lot. Maybe that's really relevant to you, but just know that if there's a lot of people following that, that's cool, but there's probably a lot of people also throwing content into that bucket. Advertising marketing, 17.4 million, guerrilla marketing, 204,000. What about what's best for Isaac? So let's see, I'm gonna just do a search here and go, is there anything with LinkedIn? LinkedIn Life, 8.2 thousand. That's cool. Maybe this is not, maybe I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. You can go up to search, and it's not an option in here, but you can search for a hashtag. Hashtag LinkedIn. Let's see what we've got there. Hashtag LinkedIn, only 119,000 followers. I mean, is it just me, or is that kind of funny that I feel like that should be bigger? We're on LinkedIn. And I'm one of them that is following. Okay, so you could do that just to get a grid. If you're not seeing something in the Discover, maybe LinkedIn tips. I'm just doing that because it's more relevant for me. Just 3,000. And maybe I like that because even though it's not in the millions, I know that I have a higher chance that my content's going to be seen amongst all of the shares. So maybe I like that. And for me personally, I actually do like that. Just me. So that's what I do. If you're looking for hashtags, I would go to I'll go to your homepage, go to discover more right there, see what is recommended. If you like it, push follow. If not, don't, and then do the search right up there. Cool. You guys want to throw anything into that before I move on to the next question?
Yeah, I think with the LinkedIn hashtags is that you use them accordingly to your marketing tactic. If you're in the numbers game, search out the one with the highest followers. Mm-hmm. And if you're more laser focused, search out those hashtags that will contribute to your marketing. Otherwise, if you get a lot of people reacting on your posts that are not in your target market, and you spend a lot of time vetting those responses.
Yep, for sure. And what I'll do, and everybody's strategy is a little bit different, right? So for me, what I'll do is I'll share content, but I'm not just relying on engagements and likes and shares. I'm wanting to see who's engaging with the content that I've categorized by hashtag. And when I see someone that's engaging that I want to know, then I'll plug them into my normal system where I'll send them a connection request and we'll have a conversation. So it's like a 1-2 punch there. David asks, how can I tell if someone has seen my LinkedIn direct message? That one's pretty easy. I'm not going to do a screen share of that one just because I'll have to, let the world see my inbox. There's this thing called a read receipt, and it's only available on the normal LinkedIn inbox, not Sales Nav, which I feel like is a bummer. Did you guys see that though? They added the active status to Sales Nav inbox. I was pretty excited to see that. So I think they're probably making updates. Anyways, read receipt is when there's their profile picture. It's really tiny on an inbox, but their picture, which will be like 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters, will be below the last message. And that's how you know that it's been read. And you should know though, that is an option that you can turn on or off in your account settings. So that doesn't guarantee that it's just not a guarantee. It's like a nice perk when they have it turned on, and it's only in the normal inbox. I had someone tell me that their read rates were higher in the normal LinkedIn inbox than SalesNav. And I was wondering, how do you know that? I don't think you can. I don't think you can actually know for sure. But anyways, that's how you can know, when you can know, is if read receipt is turned on and then their little picture is below the message. And I really like read receipts, because then I know if maybe they're not responding, why aren't they responding? You know, was my message subpar? Did they get busy? Maybe I should have ended it with a question, like a question mark, to elicit a response. The read receipts is like really good feedback for you. It's just good data to know. I really, really, really hope that the SalesNav inbox brings in read receipts. It'd be better for everyone. Jer, I can see you're chomping at the bit to say something.
Yeah, that's a feature I'm also missing on SalesNav. It would be great if it's there, because when you see that his picture is underneath the messaging, you know that they're on LinkedIn, they saw your message, and you can act accordingly. And if the picture is not there, then you don't know if it's been on their screen or not. Mm-hmm. So it's a really good incentive and informative tick box for you, mm-hmm. to go over your strategy.
Yep, I completely agree. I believe the default in your account is on,
yeah.
Right? Another kind of difference here is, when you send a message through the SalesNav inbox, the email notification contains your message text. So you don't have to rely on the recipient clicking the email notification to go to their inbox to view the message. They view it right in their email. So that's another thing too, where even if SalesNav did have read receipts on, they may have actually read your message without clicking through to the inbox, which maybe that's part of that reason there. If you send the message from the normal LinkedIn inbox, your message is not in the email notification. It just says, Lorraine sent you a message, view the message. And so it's almost like, oh, what is it? Is it important? And so you'll click it to view it, but if you don't know them, it's like, whatever. But anyways, all kinds of fun stuff. So that's the long-winded answer to a short question. Read receipts. All right. The last question submitted was from John. John asks, how do I remove a recommendation because he did not want to block the person? Just get rid of the recommendation. This has been changed recently, and the concept is the same, but just looks a little bit different. So I'm sharing my screen here. So go to your profile, scroll down to the recommendations, and then we'll just click edit. You can ask for a revision, or you can turn show on and off. And I feel like this is new. I would have to look at a screenshot, but I feel like show being on and off, I have not seen that, unless I'm just having a moment. So if you turn show off, it should still be there. It's not deleted. I almost want to do it, but recommendations are so hard to get that I don't want to mess with it. So if you don't want that recommendation to be displayed, just click show. All right, John, there you go. And yeah, awesome. That was the last one. Do you guys have any thoughts on recommendations? I mean, pretty straightforward. If you block someone, the recommendation is going to go away. Blocking is pretty extreme. I just, turn the show on or off. All right. That's it. You guys have anything else you want to add before we call it a day?
No, not today.
All right, cool. All right, you guys are great. Thanks for hopping on. See you next week.
Next time.
Bye.